Welcome everyone to the Proven Knowledge Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Church. I'm a music producer from Northeast Ohio. I began this weekly interview series to give you different perspectives from artists, producers, engineers, and other individuals in the music industry. In each episode, we touch on not only what has helped the person succeed, but we also touch on what has shaped them into the person that they are today. I hope you're able to gain some real proven knowledge from the show, and that it helps elevate you on your own journey to success as well. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 211 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. Today is another part 2 episode with a guest who first appeared on episode 80 back at the end of 2021. Her name is MYNA, artist originally from Detroit, Michigan, currently in Miami, Florida. I caught MYNA on kind of a weird day. I don't really know the context of the day that she was having, but I could tell she was going through a lot of things and a lot of emotions were kind of there. But it made for quite an interesting interview and episode, kind of like an on-the-fly version of the normal sit-down we would have. But it also led to, kind of some interesting points that she was making in this episode. We touched on what she's been up to over the past few years, why she chose to move to South Florida, the people that she's met along the way, what she's learned by producing her own music over the past few months, and also working on a new album, which she described as kind of a creative struggle, kind of beginning the album, stopping, restarting the album again. And you can just hear, in her voice in this episode, the inner conflict that she's having, both creatively and in life in general. And I just wanted to make it a point to encourage her that, whatever struggles or conflicts she was dealing with at the time, that she was going to get through it. And we even talked slightly after this interview about that. But I think this is a very unique interview. I don't really know if I've done one like this before. But I once again want to say thank you to MYNA for taking the time out of her day to give us some insight on what she's been up to. 'Cause she didn't have to do that. She could have easily said, she wanted to do it another day, but she still made the time, and I always appreciate that. And I'm definitely excited to see, what she continues to do moving forward. And I think she's a real rock star at what she does. So I hope you guys take something from this and just keep in mind about, what I'm saying in this introduction while you're listening to the interview as well. It'll give a little more context to the situation at the time. So without further ado, let's get into this one. All right, welcome everyone to episode 211 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. Today we have a returning guest from episode 80 back in 2021. It's been a few years since we last got to have a conversation. But Detroit artist, someone who's been doing it for a while now. Everybody, please welcome MYNA back to the show. How's it going, MYNA?
Hey.
Yeah, so I'm glad to get you back on the show. I know I reached out a few weeks ago, and I'm excited to kind of reconnect because, like I said, we've stayed in touch a little bit, through like the playlists and social media and stuff like that. But it has been at least like 2.5 years, so. For those that might not have heard that first episode, especially, just give kind of a reintroduction, who you are, like how'd you get into music, just kind of the brief reintroduction for those listening today.
Yeah, so that last podcast interview, I was 21, I want to say, 22, 21. So now I'm 24. I'm MYNA, a.k.a. The One. I started making music 2016, 2017, all because I was looking for a way to process my fucking feelings. Can I cuss? I cuss, right?
Yeah.
All to process my fucking feelings. And music was like the most, I guess it was just a precious way for me to get whatever's on the inside outside of me. Aside from, other mediums like painting and making movies and, stuff like that, which I also enjoyed doing as well. But yeah, I've been making music for some years now, 7 years now.
Yeah.
And I just started getting into making my own beats and exploring like new time signatures, diving back into music theory. So I'm educating myself a lot more now. on certain things. I'm learning to be a businesswoman now, how to conduct myself in proper ways to, I guess, sell the art, because I guess that's important in this day and age. You got to learn how to market yourself. You got to just, if you want to support yourself off of what you create, you got to come up with a way to make people give a fuck.
Yeah.
I guess that's the age we're in.
Yeah.
So I'm a participant, I suppose.
Yeah. I guess we all have to be at some point, you know what I mean? So I definitely agree with that. And that kind of leads me into my next question, which is, what have you been, it's really kind of what you just touched on, which is what has been the biggest change since we last talked. So let's talk about that production that you're learning and learning to make beats and things like that. Like, how has that been going? And what led you to that decision to start doing that?
So I've always been making beats, like, ever since, because I used to redo covers.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's kind of how I started getting into recording myself. So, like, I used to remake instrumentals to, like, Arctic Monkeys and, like, Lana Del Rey and, 21 Questions, 50 Cent, you know what I mean? Like, just little Frank Ocean, like, just my favorite artists. I used to just try and redo my own version of how I'd imagine the instrumentals, like, totally stripped down and just, like, wrapped around my voice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, like, maybe a few years ago that I started getting into sampling, because I was around, a dude that was sampling a lot of music. And, he used to make, like, classic hip-hop type records. And, he worked with Bruiser Brigade. And, I've seen him in, like, these rooms and stuff where, like, his beats are being shopped out, like, being picked. And I'd watch him make these beats. So I don't know, it inspired me to, like, try and do it myself,
Yeah.
Because usually, like, I'm into just, like, creating my own melodies and then, like, coming up with a rudimentary drum pattern to going back to that and just, like, call it a day and let my voice be the song. But the sampling totally changed it for me, because it's like you can really pick the essence of any record that's out there, and kind of, like, mold it and shape it to, like, create your own alternative story. I guess, like, just, like, to continue, like, a narration, it don't even have to be related to the record for it to feel like an extension of the record.
Yeah.
I guess.
And that's really the beauty of production too, is just the way that there's so many possibilities to do, and to make new things. So it's great to hear that you're kind of venturing down that route as well, and kind of, like, it sounds like reigniting that as well, because you said you had that background to begin with. And being able to do it more often, I think, is going to be super cool. Now, are you looking to, work with other artists as well, or are you just trying to start out producing, like, your own songs, and then go from there? Like, is there a process that you're going to be looking to aim for?
Yeah, no, for right now, it's for me right now. I gotta just keep it to myself right now. Like, I don't feel like I'm in a headspace to, like, try and create something for somebody, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, because that's just not me.
Yeah.
Like, that's never been why I made music, you feel me? Like, I always made it, like, so I could, I guess, conjure my own demons, in a way. But, like, I feel like once I reach a certain level where it's, like, I've divulged that completely, then it's, like, I'll be able to let other people in this space. But right now, I gotta do some cleanup work over here, because it's, like, dark night of the soul type shit, Like, and I'm currently feeling under pressure.
Yeah. Well, I definitely feel that, though.
I'd love to, though. I'd love to make beats for other people.
Yeah. Maybe it's a one day once you get there type thing, like you said. And I think that's the best thing to do, though, is to make the music strictly for yourself to start with. And it's a better way to find your own sound, like, as a producer, too, let alone as an artist, because you're already writing and recording to all these songs, too. So I think it's a great endeavor, and congrats on it. And I'm definitely excited to see, like, where it goes from here. Because that is super cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there anyone that you've been working with lately, maybe, collaborating with, or anybody that you want to give a shout out to, that you have been, keeping up with, or maybe they've been keeping up with your stuff?
Yeah. I want to shout out this artist from Florida, Pendulum, that I've been working with a lot recently. I met him when he was up in Michigan. and we just clicked off of like the drive of us wanting to see something different, you know, and like we threw a show together on 11/11, and it was like a mosh pit / music showcase. So kind of like embodied two things that we're both passionate about. We were able to like meld something and make something out of that. But yeah, him and I have been working a lot together because now I'm in Florida, and which is like his state. So now we're trying to do the same thing that we did in Michigan up here, and then hopefully maybe take it on the road or something, like wherever it goes. I think the next stop is Miami, 'cause that's where I live. Yeah, like so shout out to Pendulum, because I know he's about to roll out his music pretty soon as well, and he has this company called Which Again that specializes in events and more down the line. And yeah, he's just like a really, really cool guy. Very inspirational.
Yeah. Hey there, hope you're enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick minute out to let you know about a couple different ways that you can support the podcast. One of the ways is by clicking that support the podcast button within your streaming platform. That is if you want to be a monthly supporter of the show. You can contribute either 99 cents, $5, or $10 a month. So that's the first way, and that's the more traditional way that we've had now for the last couple years. The other method that we actually just recently introduced is from our good friends over at Ko-fi. Ko-fi is a virtual tip jar. We have set our limit to a minimum of $10, but you can go make one-time, one-off donations. So if you visit ko-fi.com/the Proven Knowledge Podcast, you'll be able to donate. And all these different forms of donation go towards getting new guests every single week, getting potential sponsors on board to do giveaways, and overall just making the show better for you guys. So if you want to do that Ko-fi link, it's ko-fi.com/the Proven Knowledge Podcast. Otherwise, again, look for that support the podcast button in your streaming platform if you'd like to be a monthly supporter. And I just want to say thank you guys for your contributions. And without further ado, let's get back into the episode. Feels like he's someone that's definitely like-minded and has kind of the shared vision that you have as well, which I think is the best type of collaborators to find at the end of the day. So that definitely sounds awesome. And
definitely.
Yeah.
No, definitely. It's like, it's funny, like, we share like the same thought process, I'd say. Like, but I think our visions are like completely, I don't know, we're like opposites. It's like a yin and yang thing.
Oh,
like,
man.
he's completely like, he totally embraces like the shadow aspects of yourself, and I think I embody like a light. Other people though, other people I've been collaborating with, I've met a lot of people in Miami. So, like, I want to shout out Champion, my guy Champion, and Black Water Cafe, my homegirl Mello, my homegirl Brooke Shepherd, Brooke Ashley, oh my God. Cut that out. Brooke Ashley, holy shit. My fucking sister. Because we've been just like, I don't know, it's funny. The one thing about Miami that's so interesting is he's not from there. Like, they all come from different states. Like, and it's like we all came together for one purpose, like, to make something different for ourselves. And, like...
Yeah, for sure.
It's weird, though. Yeah, it's weird. This is, like, a weird point in life, in the life-creating aspect of everything. Because I'm at the point where I feel like I don't know what the fuck is happening. Like, there's always... going to be uncertainty, and I'm facing it head first right now, like, as we talk.
When did you end up making that move then? Because I know obviously the last time that we talked, you were still in Detroit. So, like, when did you make the move? Was it within the last year or so, or was it before that even?
It was pretty last minute. I decided to come to Florida in November.
Okay.
So that was, and it was a spur of the moment decision because, well, first of all, I don't want to be in Detroit, / Ann Arbor for a winter.
Oh yeah.
And I was sick of working at sushi.
Yeah.
So I needed to, I don't know. It was driving me crazy then, you know? So I felt like I had to get out. But I don't know. Maybe it's just like an attest to like what young just want to do something spontaneous. So you just go out and do it just to see what's on the other side, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, you know, I'm in the middle of that.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of that.
And sometimes I think it is good to be able to do that. So I definitely think it's good to have the change of scenery every once in a while. I feel you about the winters because obviously I'm in the Midwest too, and it's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. So to go to like South Beach, I can't blame you on that one. So I think that makes total sense. And from a creative standpoint too, I feel like it would make good sense too because that's how the best art is made when you do have the change of scenery and you're able to find those like-minded people like we talked about. To be able to connect with and work with. And like you said, there's been struggles and things like that, but I feel like, you know, that'll happen anytime you do something of that nature. But I do think it still finds a way to work out, you know what I mean? Which is good. So.
I don't know. It's weird, like, cause yeah, like with all the changes, like it definitely reflects back to my album, you know, because like I've been like pushing this album basically all year, but with it not being done, you know, like I'm just like, I'm creating it as I go, and like every time I feel like I have an idea of what it's gonna be, I end up trashing it and like making something completely different, like making something totally new. And I'm not sure like what that, like why. I'm still trying to like figure out why I'm doing that, you know, because like I was up to like 7 songs, and then like it's like I ventured off into space and I ended up on a planet of like of a different music scale, and now I'm like, oh, like this is what I'm supposed to be making, and I'm supposed to be producing myself. I'm not supposed to work with no other producers. It's supposed to be MYNA, like all the way through, like. What am I doing? So now I'm only at 2 songs now. Like I've fully produced and written to 2 songs, like that are now have made the album cut. Like, and it's scary. I don't know. Like I'm scared because I don't know. Like I'm confident that the sound is gonna be what it's gonna be, but it's like it's something completely. Like I feel like people are gonna have to like learn to dance in a different way, like from this sound, you know, that I'm trying to create. And you know, it may just change, like, you know, it's like the difference of eras, you know what I mean? Like you can tell the difference between the eras of like the 70s and the 80s because like the sound completely changed. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm on the cusp of like a change, but I could just be on like, I don't know, some fucking Gemini shit, like, oh yeah, like this is the greatest thing, like it's godly ordained. I don't fucking know, like Gemini shit, Kanye shit, Prince shit. I don't know what the fuck you call it. Like, I'm just trying to, I'm filling the gaps in.
Yeah. You keep having, like, revelations along the way. Like, you feel like you're almost there, and then something else hits you, and then you're just like, I gotta start over, and just, like, keep it going again. So I think it'll be interesting once you ever, like, when you do feel like you get to that point where you have something you're proud of, though, I think it'll be worth like all the work you put in, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely excited to see like where that journey ends up leading you, because obviously it does sound complex from like an outsider's perspective. So I think at the end of it all, it's gonna be cool to see what the end product will be. So I'll definitely be on the lookout for that. And what else do you think, you know, you want to do really goals wise before the end of the year? Is there anything else that is like something you want to shoot for? Or are you just going to kind of see where it goes from here on out?
No, my main priority is just getting this album done, like, and not losing my insanity in the midst of it. I mean, I already feel like I have, like, and I'm just trying to like catch it in the air, like, I don't know, like the pieces of me that are like scattered, you know, due to me, you know, whatever. Sometimes you trust the wrong people. Sometimes you want to trust people that you can't. Sometimes you want to be closer to people that you just have to keep at an arm's length distance. Like I'm going through all of these lessons right now.
Yeah.
Which is what I want this album to also reflect, you know, like because I want it to be, I want this album to be something where it's like you hear it in the club and you can move to it, but when you tune into what I'm saying, it's like, oh fuck, she's saying some real shit. You know, like there's lessons in here I could grab from, like, etc.
Yeah, it's like the best of both worlds.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like I want people to experience it all with me. You know, like, cause I feel like, you know, everybody has this like God nature aspect to them, and like my music, I always strive to further dwell into that space, you know, and to find out more information, so like people can just know who it is that they are. Like I want my music to remind people who the fuck they are, you know what I mean, in whatever capacity, like whether it's like how you love, or like how you like lift yourself up from a dark place, or like the power that you have to change your situation. Like I want people to always know that. And it's just, I don't know, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure because like I know I'm not shit, and you know, and I don't have to sit and like pretend like I am, and I'm not, you know. It's just like, you know, I'm just a fucking artist, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just a fucking artist, and I'm trying to do the best I can in this crazy fucking world where like you literally have to sell your product for people to give a fuck. Like it's insane. And I don't know, it's not that insane, I guess, because everybody's doing it, but like I guess I'm not like, I don't know, what is it? I'm not like putting myself hip to the program, I guess, or it's like, is that at my own ignorance? Like these are just like questions that I ask myself. Because like, yeah, like again, like in this album, it's like it went from I wanted it to be like the conventional pop album to it being an album to now it's like this avant-garde, like it's gonna be some damn shit, but it's not some damn shit that I just don't know. I don't keep saying I don't know because I just don't know. Yeah. So it's a weird thing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think you're gonna get there eventually. You know, I think when you're in the middle of the process, it's hard to see like that end, or like when will it end. But I feel like I sense the passion in what you're trying to do and what you've already done so far, and I know that you have something special to give, and I think that when, like I said, when it does eventually come to fruition, it's going to be all worth the wait. And do you think you have anything you want to share before we get out of here? Because I know we did words of wisdom last time, so we'll do something similar to that. You know, do you have anything you want to share with people, you know, about what you're going through currently, or just in general? Like, what do you want to leave people with?
For sure. Yeah, I guess my words to leave off with is don't be on that high horse if you can't ride that motherfucker. You hear me? Don't get on that bitch, because that motherfucker will kick you the fuck off and you're going to be on the ground and you're going to be sitting there looking stupid. And guess what? That's okay. It's okay, because honestly, it comes down to this, bro. Character is always under development all the time. There's 24 hours in a day, like, and all of them hours can be used as opportunities to grow, opportunities to observe, opportunities to like adapt, perceive, like use it, you know, use your time wisely. And don't ever think that you like the hottest shit, bro, because there's always going to be somebody hotter. There's always going to be somebody that's coming up, like that's putting in more time than you, more effort than you may realize. And you may put a lot of effort into shit, but you'd be surprised. You would be surprised, bro, how many people are out here that are hungry, just like you, but just maybe show it more than you. You feel me? So you always got to be humble, feel me? And it's like, it's always a fucking process, bro. It's always a fucking process. And if you're a fucking artist, stand the fuck up, feel me? And say what the fuck you gotta say, bro. Enough with this, like, mysterious aloofness, whatever the fuck, like, you know, opium got you thinking that you gotta, like, be a fucking shadow person to be taken serious. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that shit. Just shine, baby. Just fucking shine. Just shine. Just figure out how you're gonna do it and just do it. Because ain't nobody gonna figure it out for you. You know, nobody gives a fuck more than you give a fuck. And you're not gonna just sit there and be mad because people don't give a fuck like how you give a fuck. Like, can't. It's a waste. So, yep.
That's a bar.
Yep.
That's a bar right there. I gotta say, Mina, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I know it's been a day. I know it has, but thank you again. And I believe in you, man. I really do, and I'm looking forward to whenever this project does drop. And just keep doing your thing, keep being you, and we'll talk again soon. All right.
I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me on again.
Thanks everyone for listening today. That was episode 211. We'll be back this time next week. As always, hit the support button on your podcast streaming platform if you'd like to send any funds. And feel free to leave us that 5-star rating if you enjoyed today's episode. So we'll see you then. Thanks everyone.